Hi guys, this is Sydney. So I was just eating something and all of a sudden I felt called to be on camera right now. And for some reason, something in my throat. So there's like something like kind of a blockage right now that I'm feeling. So I don't know what message may come out, but I'm on here, so I'm just going to let my intuition guide me through this. So as always, tune into your own heart and take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So right now I'm actually feeling pretty like, I don't know, like just before sleeping state kind of thing, because I've been experiencing a lot of jet lag ever since I got here, and there's a big time difference between here and Asia. So, you know, like the sleeping and waking hours has been all like messed up, and like eating and all of that. So anyways, I've been eating, just wanted to I made this quinoa rice, and I haven't made this in a while, but now all the ingredients are available. I put some beets, avocado, cilantro like a taco, spring onion, what else? Some olives, some dried tomatoes, and then a lot of different seasoning. And then mix, and I'm eating. I'm just gonna eat. I love having this seaweed wrap. I eat seaweed all the time, so I could have done the filming after you finished eating, but suddenly I felt cold, and I don't know why, but I'm just sharing eating as well. I feel cold too. So if you see this seaweed stuck to my teeth, just be aware that I'm eating seaweed. And as a child, we used to play with this, like putting like this. My God. And then just doing this, we will laugh our belly out, you know, that's how we were when we were children. So, okay, the message is coming. Don't forget to laugh. Have fun. If you feel like you're going through some serious, heavy stuff, intentionally create something that's light, that would make you laugh, to shift your energy field is what I'm guided to share right now. And take everything lightly. So there was this one message that was keep coming as I was preparing the food, and that was like, I don't know whether you resonate with these words or not, but you know, like there's something called like glitch in the matrix or something like that. Right now, at this time, there are a lot of individuals time shifting, time jumping, quantum leaping, however you resonate with these terms at this time. It's all unique. So there's no need for you to argue with each other or try to prove your points or try to feel like you're in a superior or better place to show other people that, or if anything of that is coming up as a trigger, just be aware and then get back to your center and look at your shadow aspect of the ego playing out, so that you're constantly integrating those aspects, okay, is what is coming for me to share at this time. So there are a lot of changes happening right now with the Rainbow Bridge, especially this year. The quantum jump or timeline shifting is for real. And okay, what I'm receiving is we've been preparing for this since more like in a major way since the earlier this year with the Rainbow Bridge and portal. And then it started to get closer and closer, and in one of the recent videos I shared in my third eye vision, I saw people in the middle of the bridge crossing. So that was just like last month, I believe, around that time. And so we've been preparing for this individual, so that's why I kept mentioning the last few months that you just felt like you no longer resonated with your husband, wife, or life partner, or your job, or the location where you live in, the house you live in, or your family or relatives, or however it is, your close friends. It could be anything. Because you are growing and you are elevating your frequency, while perhaps the people around you or the places around you were remaining the same. So all of a sudden you had to break out of it, and even though it was not an easy decision, a painful process, if your soul was ready to jump onto your higher or highest timeline or cross that rainbow bridge and your energy is ready, you somehow managed to make the decision, is what I'm going to share. So you made that decision, which was sort of, so-called, you were on the right path in that sense at the time, even though you may have had a very hard time deciding and to come to that final decision and take the intentional action towards it. So if you are watching this video right now and connecting with this message and the energy here, okay, I've been connecting very heavily, which I also mentioned in the last video, like with the ancestors, very heavily. They are supporting you with your transition right now, is what is coming for anyone that may resonate. And also, okay, just in front of me is the waterway, and then I see 2 white doves flying. So that could be significant, or you may be seeing today, or when you see this on the same day, is what is coming. 22, 222, 2222, all these number 2 patterns, okay, is what is coming. And that you may experience, or you may start to physically experience something that may be very so-called abnormal, or for the first time. So when I was in Hanoi, I think it was just like about 10 days ago. So I use local SIM card wherever I go, and then it was for like a certain number of days, but I was staying over like, more than 30 days. So until I check out from the country or the place, I still had like, I believe 4 or 5 days left. So I was asking, I found this like telecom company or the shop where they sell SIM card, the local SIM card. And I remember visiting one time, and then there was this woman, and it was just on my way out, and I felt cold to just visit. And then, but back then I still had like a week left on my SIM card, so I just wanted to have some information, and whether I need to bring my passport and all that stuff, so just in case, and I believe on just the next day that I lost all the connection to internet, I revisited the shop in the late afternoon, and there was another lady, and she was not really like cooperative or friendly, and she tried reluctantly, and then she said, oh, the machine is not working, the computer system is not working, so come back tomorrow morning. And the next day I actually went back in the late afternoon, and it was very close to where I was staying, and I started walking and just crossing the street and just walking a few, like a minute or two, and it was right there, and I was able to see all these familiar shops, but then I couldn't find that place. And they said they're open like to like 5 p.m. Monday to Sunday every single day. So in my mind, it's like I cannot miss it, right? And I kept walking, and then it's about time that I felt like intuitively that it should show up. I kept walking, but then I found myself walking to the end of the road, but it was before that. So I went back, like looking at every store, and then I couldn't find it. There were no signs, no shops, nothing. And I tried one more time, like back and forth, and then I was like, okay, then they don't want me, I don't need the SIM card for the next 4 or 5 days. So that's how I usually go about when something is like not running smooth. It's not meant for me, so I just accept it and allow, and then I'm not gonna use the internet outside that much anyways, so I'm just going to focus more on meditating and connecting with the lake and the water there. And it ended up working very fine, because I was concerned about calling the ride after I check out, and if I don't have the internet, there may be some difficulties when I leave and when I go to the airport and I have to show something and stuff like that. But everything just worked out fine, where I could just connect to like public Wi-Fi, which was very smoothly running everywhere. So, and after that happened, I don't know if it was the same night or the day after, all of a sudden I received, and I was like, oh my God. And I just received a message. This is the timeline jumping. This is for real, and this is going to start to show up as the earth is splitting further. Like this kind of abnormal activities before your physical eyes, before your physical reality. So a lot of things have been taking place in the astral, or in the energetic space now. Since the 7/7 portal, it's about to show up in your physical reality is what is coming for those individuals that may resonate with this, is what is coming for me to share. So you may experience something similar, and I'm going to share my story as an example. that there was a shop all the time, no longer it's there. And you may be just all of a sudden it's gone. It's always there, you always put it there, and you don't remember losing it, but it's gone. And then a few days later you find it, or something of that nature, or that something disappearing, reappearing, something disappearing, and it's gone. So this has been something ever since I was in Manila. Okay, in Manila, when I was in Manila, that was about, that was before Australia, so June, around like March, April time, I started to receive this message. Whenever I woke up, it's a different timeline. It's a different timeline of something of that nature. So we are constantly aligned with infinite numbers of parallel timelines, or however you resonate with these terms, realities. And so we are constantly shifting, and the gap between this old earth energies and the new earth energy and different reality, because everything that we experience is basically who you are right now. You see what I mean? Because everything is a holographic in nature, and how we touch, sense, and perceive is all physical, because we are in this dense place. And just like in like sci-fi movies, or you know, like all these fantasy movies, there's like a blank canvas, and as you walk, there are like cities showing up, and like buildings showing up, and something like that is what is coming in my mind's eye for me to share at this time. So that could be like an analogy. So that's how we used to live, but now we are moving in and moving at such a fast pace, with a lot of higher light codes, especially like more and more and more, and speeding up, speeding up, speeding up. So you may experience something of this nature is what is coming for me to share. Okay, that is, I think, the main message right now. So if that happens, just be aware that you may be aligning with different or new, however you resonate with these terms, timeline, and that okay, what is coming is that you don't have to go necessarily into digging like into your mind to understand or have like a grasp of what is happening and why that's happening, and what made that happen. You don't want to go into that digging is what is coming for me to share. So that's why they want me to be on camera right now and share this for those of you who may resonate and experience this as somewhat of so-called ascension symptoms, however you resonate. So there may be a lot of different changes within your physical body. For some of you, what is coming is it is okay for you to slow down so that your body can adjust to this new energy, and ground your energy, allow your body to recuperate is what is coming, recalibrate at this time, especially if you resonate. It's just a necessary process right now for you to make another lip, like a frog is what is coming. So something that is coming is, if you resonate with that slowing down message, conserve your energy right now, conserve your energy, and continue to discern, continue to so-called set boundaries. And the idea of boundaries can have different meanings for every individual right now is what is coming for me to share. But simply meaning whatever that you no longer resonate with, you're not going to give yourself the permission to interact or entangle yourself energetically. So that's, we can call or we can perceive as setting boundaries. So it could be certain people, certain conversations, what you watch, what you eat, what you engage as activities, or it could be anything of that nature, okay? So continue to do so. And then another thing is, when you experience a lot of this timeline shifting, everyone is on a unique individual journey. Depending on where you are with your inner vibration and energetic work, if you are trying to get out of a certain situation, for example, like a karmic connection, whether it's a family member or a workplace or friends, or like, you know, like marriage, partnership, and all of that, that energy form from the person or the situation or the dynamic will constantly try to pull you down, subconsciously, unconsciously, very much so. And a lot of the times they're not even aware, and they don't have that awareness of what they're doing. They're just playing out the ego, so they're competing with you, or they're feeling jealous, or they're feeling hatreds. And when someone is in that energetic vibration, usually that means they don't want anyone growing, because on a subconscious level, it makes them feel threatened because of this deep sense of loneliness that they hold within, that emptiness, meaning their cup is not full, and they don't know how to fill their cup, meaning they need to work on self-love, self-care, self-nurturing, and bringing all this energy that's been putting out to fill their cup. Now they have to resume and then start working on themselves. But if someone has been avoiding doing that and continuing to replay the old patterns, so basically, like, especially jealousy, hatred, envy, these are one of some of the very common energies that are on earth, right, due to a lot of these duality consciousness experiences and experimentations in survival. And we needed karma in order to be on earth. That's how dense this planet is, right? So it was worse before in that sense. So while carrying that on, there were a lot of stuff of that, and one of it is everyone in the collective carried was the fear of rejection and fear of abandonment. And it's also tied to the religious codes that have been placed onto people in the collective, and all this like stuff where, so for example, the simple programming and conditioning of that is you go to like a nursery school or preschool, even before like school system, and if you do well what your teacher says you to do, then you get a candy, like you get a reward, and that candy tastes so sweet, you constantly go for it. That's how the conditioning works, right? So you are giving your power away, trading your power with the candy. Somewhat of that nature, you know. And if you listen to mommy, then you will get your ice cream after finishing your meal. And if you don't listen to your mom, if you don't finish it, then there's no ice cream for you, which is a form of punishment. Just as simple as that in everyday life, right? And if you don't sit up straight, for certain families, while you're eating, you get punished. because you're going to be taken away with something and you can't watch or you can't play your favorite game, or you can't do this, you can't do that, right? There's a lot of barriers, and that's how those kids start to take on frustration little by little, anger, resentment, all this energy and powerlessness. So they start to play out exactly the way their parents are when they grow up, when they're not conscious, you see? So that's how it's been carried out from one generation to the next, and that's where you come in as a generational, this karmic cycle breaker or a curse breaker, or however you resonate with these terms, right? So you're not doing the same thing over and over, and that comes with you always feeling and being different. And that's why, you know, light workers and starseeds or anyone resonating could have had a very tough time in this lifetime or in many other lifetimes, because the sense of belonging here on earth with the karma playing out has been very big, but you had to be different. You see what I mean? But now we are going into that age of light, the new golden age or new earth, however you resonate with these terms. We are merging with soul family, soul tribes, people you resonate, not on a blood level, but on an energetic level. You will have new families. Something of that nature is what is coming. So some may be experience this later when they are ready. Some may be experiencing this at this moment. So that's why I kept mentioning that you are never alone, because you may feel like you're alone, or that you are saying no, or you have to deal with a lot of feelings of rejection and abandonment, because you disobeyed. You chose not to listen to what they said. You chose not to listen to study or do or work or be what your parents wanted you to do or society wanted you to do. You were different, you know. So that's all coming. So with that, what has happened is that there is a big sense of inner feelings of loneliness, and that sense of emptiness, even though you may have a lot of so-called friends, because you had to put on a mask to be very social and to play this role and that role, but like deep down you never really fully connected with anyone, or you never really felt fully seen or heard or connected, or resonated, or like really truly understand you or see you and love you for who you are. They always wanted you to be who they want you to be, whether it's a relationship, friendship, parent, children dynamic, you know. So we are all moving out of that with this age of light energy that we've been working and being prepared. So all of a sudden they had me stop. Okay, so they want me to share that sense of inner loneliness is tied to a deep sense of betrayal as well. Betrayal meaning you put your trust on people around you, the lover, the husband, the wife, or the parents, or your friends, or whoever it is, and then they betrayed you. Meaning, like, they didn't provide what you wanted and needed. And with that, you felt like they rejected you, they abandoned you. You see what I mean? So it's like this, it's all related to the energy of codependency as well. That's been very heavy in the age of darkness experimentation. That it's like, you know, I love you, you love me, and we get married, and you got to do what I want you to do, and if you don't do that, you don't love me. You know, that's the idea of codependent relationships. And this is also with parents and children dynamic very often as well, right? I love you, you love me, we love each other as a family, mother, daughter, father, son, or however it is. And then you got to do this for me, right? You got to choose this for me. You're making me happy. You're making this family proud, right? That's another form of codependent dynamic that's been playing out on Earth. So with that, if someone is experiencing these emotions, especially the jealousy, envy, the competitiveness, that's leading to unknown hatred towards someone or something, that they feel like what they sense is that it's like they left me alone. It's like they're moving up or they're moving away and they're not the same as me. You see what I mean? That's why they feel threatened. And they're like, they're leaving me alone. They're rejecting me, they're abandoning me. So that goes really deep into that level, psychologically or however it is, like trauma-wise or energetically. And so that's why they start to play out stuff. They will do anything they will manipulate, they will do this, different tactics to keep you both energetically on a physical level. And so it takes really strong will, determination, faith, and trust in the divine when you are going through that is what I'm going to share. And you will have to go through a lot of grieving phases, a lot of releasing of the psychological bonds with them as well, attachments that have been formed. All was part of karmic contracts. If you were also carrying the bloodline karma, all of that. It's not easy, but it is possible for you to break out of it. So I'm just, for some reason, it's coming for me to share about that because a lot of people are going to start to experience it or is going through something of that nature is what is coming, and they need support. They need support. I could be a stranger, but I could still support you if you resonate. You see, if you allow yourself to receive. And once again, with any messages or whatever that is, you do not want to force yourself to fit into the message, or do not use this message as to feel approved of something or feel like you are validated. As a reminder, because in the age of light is the age of sovereignty, meaning we're not here to be the people's choice is what is coming. We are here to be who we are. We are here to connect on a genuine, authentic level. That's the soul tribe, right? We're not here to prove or validate each other. We're not here to, it's a very different form, the validation and just sharing love. Validation feels very sticky from, I can sense all these different energies and dissect. And just exchanging pure love is not like, it's not attached, it's not sticky, it's not attaching to you. It's not sucking on your energy. So they're simply expressing their love and exchanging that love with someone. And then when that person is in the resonance, in balance, the other person who's been given their love will also reciprocate. You see what I mean? So there's no need to worry about whether they're gonna, love you back or do this and do that. It has to do with all this like deep sense of feelings of loneliness coming from, or the old habits if you've been used to all these codependent relationships, right? You have to work on these patterns or addictive patterns or however it is, and then work with your own inner sense of emptiness or loneliness that is tied to that deeper fear of being rejected or abandoned. So you may give love and you're constantly afraid that they might not give you back that love that you gave, or you have experience, right? You gave a lot and you didn't receive anything in return, or you are being manipulated, or somewhat of the nature that everyone in the collective thus far experienced and know this energy one way or one form or another if you're on earth right now. Okay, so it's a matter of whether you are getting into more of the unconditional self, remembering who you really are, that journey of remembrance, right? The more you remember who you are, the power you hold, right? You start to remember more unconditional self. So with that, what is coming is whenever these fear arises, whenever you catch them, you don't have to feel bad for feeling jealousy or envy or hatred. The most important part of that experiencing trigger is to recognize it and catch yourself and being aware of those emotions existing and transforming it, transmuting it. And how you can do it with, however you resonate with these terms, right? Transmute, transform, or release, or however it is. Something that you can practice on a practical level, a tool, if you resonate, of course, is that you can say, I love you, fear. You start to feel fear, I love you, fear. And you can visualize, because you can't just say the words over and over without emotions. You have to shift your emotions. The way you feel has to feel different. So for example, if you love animals, or if you love plants, if you love something, bring that energy with you and start to use your power of imagination and incorporate that into this affirmations or new music or the new sound that is your new earth. You see what I mean? Which is very powerful. You are aligning with your higher timelines or highest timeline. So what you can do is you can bring that, visualize. So for me, it's like when I just gently touch a pet. I connected with this cat when I was in Hanoi at this cafe. Every time I was there, the cat was connecting with me as well. So I would like just gently pat them, and they will just be like in a very soft, relaxed state. And it was just so loving moment. So just have one of those moments that you may resonate and start to visualize to turn on that emotion, meaning your mind-heart coherence activation first, so that you are in that feeling resonance. Feeling resonance is the key right now. Okay, you start to feel that, and then you say, I love you, fear, as if you're gently petting your pet or whatever that makes you feel love, basically, whatever it is. You can see your food, or you can cook your food and you can love it, or bring that feeling with you in that moment, okay? And then say, I love you, fear, very gently, softly, and slowly as possible. And then I love you, anxiety. You can breathe in and breathe out as you say each word. I love you, fear, release. I love you, jealousy, let go. I love you, envy. I love you, hatred. I love you, anxiety. I love you, worries. Right? I love you, what else? Guilt. I love you, shame. I love you guys all so much, right? Because you don't need to fight In the latest videos that I shared, I mentioned light does not fight. It's only the fear that fights, the fear that wants to control. Light loves, and love transforms fear. You see what I mean? Love transforms negative energies. Love transforms conditions, because you are unconditional being. So when you say I love, you're activating your heart center with that feeling resonance that you already are resonating, connecting with the power of the imagination, visualizing, bringing back that energy. You're loving everything, you're transmuting, transforming, releasing, and back to source. So the source can, resource it. I love you, I love you, I love you. And you can also say, this takes a while, especially if you're in a karmic relationship or situation. You hate your boss, you hate someone at your work, and you hate this person, you hate your husband or wife or however it is, or you hate your children. You can say, if you no longer resonate with them, how you can forgive and let go of them energetically is, I love you, but I say no. I love you, but I say no. Right? I love you, but I say no. Because your priority is maintaining high vibration. And if they're not meeting and raising their standards or energy level to meet your level, meet your standards, then you're not in resonance simply, on a neutral sense. So they cannot enter your energy field. They cannot mingle with you. You see what I mean? And you will say, it's not from a place of rejecting them or putting like a boundary, as if like in a lot of the spiritual community, like putting a wall because there's an attack coming, you're putting a wall. It's kind of a different, energetically, that have been like based on the old energies. But now, because the more you feel like there's a lot of attacks that you have to put on these protections and do this, it may be out of fear, and that fear could attract some lower entity attacks or other situations that are in resonance with that. So you always want to make sure that it's coming from a place of love, and you're not just saying it with words or empty words. You are utilizing this tool of the sound or the words or the spell with the feeling resonance of the love. And that's where the 33 chambers of heart opening and Archangel Chamuel has been coming through very heavily lately, for individuals to open up and start to radiate from the heart center and start operating from here rather than here. That we've been working very heavily since earlier this year. So we just entered, Saturn just went into retrograde, I believe today or yesterday or something, and it's going back into Pisces for the last time until we go back into Aries. So right now is a time for us to anchor down, meaning find the structures with the Saturn energies in the unknown. And we've been working heavily with the unknown, flowing in the unknown, right? Feeling more comfortable with the unknown, right? That we've been working over the past months, that I've been sharing about the flow state this, flow state that, and soul guidance, and how you can work with certain negative emotions and stuff like that. It's all part of it, and understanding what unknown is, sharing that water energy constantly for you to connect and meditate with if you resonate. It's all to prepare for us for this moment of the Saturn return. And just 2 days ago, I started to connect with the Saturn and received the word karma. karma. So there's another karmic so-called justice in human language term or sense at this time. Basically, it's the law of cause and effect, right? If you've been putting out good, you're going to receive good, meaning you're kind, loving, helpful, supportive, sincere, honest. Well, that's what you're going to receive. All in the cycle, because the physical reality takes a while for things to show up in a physical reality. Because here is very dense, everything slows down. So that's how you can see it with the karmic cycle, and everything has different like number of years cycle, right? 3-year cycle, 5-year cycle, 7-year cycle, however you resonate. The number 333 has been very big since last night. 222, 333, 444, 555, 777, 888, all in triple numbers, have been coming up very heavily the past few days, everywhere, every time. So right now in front of me, one black dove and one white dove is flying. Okay, so another 222, and black and white representing yin and yang, and 2 representing the balance. So if you are resonating with this, you may have achieved your inner balance, the merge, the inner union within between your yin and yang, or divine masculine and divine feminine within, or that you are in the process of unionizing these two within, is what is coming for me to share. So take however it resonates. Everything that you see, everything is all synchronicities and signs. It's just that it's a matter of this one open and then you recognizing it everywhere, okay? So I actually forgot what I just said, because so they're saying you may also experience this as well, that you may suddenly feel like, what did I just say? Or something like you're just pausing, and then something of that nature. It is what is coming. It's not to block you, and you don't want to get frustrated with it. Whatever it is, you allow, you accept for what it is. Or if it's something that you don't resonate with, you move yourself out of the situation or those relationships or people, right? And you and it keeps coming on. You have to be very strong to keep on walking forward, and that's where the energy of optimism is playing a big role. Because when you're going through a lot of stuff, it's very hard or it's easy for you to fall back into negative outlook or negative perspective on everything or situation, which is the old pattern. So that it requires your effort on that part to keep things optimistic. Okay, so going back to that, start feeling this. And you can also do this with your body, which I've been doing ever since I had that initial activation in 2018. I start to communicate with my body, because in this lifetime I carried pain all over my body ever since I was a child for no reason. I had severe back pain, severe spine pain, severe neck pain, severe knee, all this joint pains, shoulder pains. So, you know, most of my life I couldn't stand like this straight because it was so painful. I had to like hold my neck or something, like when I go to a bookstore, like I'm looking at a book or I'm working on something. But I've been living with all this physical symptoms because my body was carrying all these ancestral stuck energies everywhere. And you know, I shared that one time I couldn't move, so I had to be in bed for 1 month literally. And it's just little something that I went through. I went through a lot of different things, but that's just part of it. So with this physical body, you can also relax and allow it to align or get used to this new energy of relaxation and peace and alignment and balance by saying, I love you everything. I love you hair, I love you skull, I love you skin, I love you eyebrow, I love you nose, I love you teeth, I love you lips, I love you eyes, I love you ears, I love you hands, I love you nails, I love you joints, I love you bones, I love you ligaments, I love you like all these different organs, lungs, heart, liver, pancreas, right? All these intestines, colon, and however it is, right? Kidney, and also down to all this like, I love you nervous system, I love you hormones, I love you blood, white blood cells, red blood cells, I love you all this vagus nerves. You can love everything because you are in command. You are the source for these like little planets and organs that are connected to different parts of the planets, and you are the fraction of it. So what is coming is the Rumi quote. You're not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop, literally. And we are in the process of remembering that and really embodying that energy and recognizing it fully, right? We call it healing, empowerment, however you resonate, right? So you can do that as you lie down, relax, and take a big breath in and out, in and out. You can do this when you are healing, or when you're in like a deep shadow phase or any phase, or wherever you are. You can start to get used to speaking with your body. And something that I used to do was whenever there's like a pain, I would talk to the pain and I would say, it's okay to relax. It's okay for you to relax. And then I pay attention to the area and then just softening that area, the energy, relaxing the energy, and then suddenly in that moment the pain is gone. And I've been experiencing that since 2018. So that's how you can start to command your body. Also, if you doubt this, then you can start to experiment and see for yourself, right? Relax. It's unnecessary now to feel pressure. Relax, shoulders. Relax. I love you, shoulder. So you're constantly giving love, unconditional support to all your organs, all these areas, right? Because we've been living with such anxiety, stress, fear, name all these negative so-called energies on a daily basis, moment to moment. For example, me, with the stress, my body start to dysfunction and I start to experience a lot of difficulties, some sickness, right? I had to go through that as part of that experience and had to come out of it, and food addictions, extreme addictions where I just, all day long, I was thinking about what to eat next, what I want to eat, like cravings all the time, which was like so energy consuming, and also like putting pain on my body. So I remember at the time I gave myself 10 years to get out of this. It's like a serious addiction, and it all had to do with the karmic energy that I needed to, or that I chose on a soul level to carry on and release. So be gentle with yourself, continue to work and in the direction of optimism, and faith is very much the key, right? Constantly remind yourself to stay in faith and trust. and just be very determined to keep on stepping in that direction. Okay, so is there anything else that you want me to share at this time? Source, Gaia. For some reason, Excalibur is coming. On the way here, I start to see King Arthur, Excalibur. So if you resonate with that, you have healed your divine masculine energy. You have balanced that divine masculine energy, is what is coming for me to share. You have tamed your ego, is what is coming for me to share. You have activated the love within you finally. Congratulations, is what is coming for me to share for anyone that may resonate and need this information at this time. So with that, I'll wrap up here, and wherever you are, I'm sending you lots of love, and to not give up, and remember that you're not alone. Okay, and so keep on stepping, even if you need to rest. Okay, it's okay to rest, but just get back up and keep on walking. Okay, you don't have to just walk all the time and exhaust yourself, right? So the journey is long, so go and to a higher perspective, to see everything from a larger perspective, to a long-term vision, so-called, right? So this is not like a 100-meter race, this is like a lifelong marathon. So understand your pace, learn to pace yourself in different energies and changes, and there's a lot going on, but there's a lot of support that's available, right? With the celestial, astrological energies, the sun, the moon, and just to name a few, and your guardian angels, and also your higher self as well. And on a physical level on earth, we have incarnated here together, and I'm here to also sending support, energetic love, right? So just remember that, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.